Thank you so much for watching. We're having an all right time in Newcastle tonight. Booyah! Well done, sir. That's a good yeah, I like it. Well, there is an amazing Australian called Dennis Hanlon. Now, he is a man who has shepherded through some of the biggest acts both locally and internationally. There isn't a star around the world when it comes to music or, frankly, anything else who doesn't know him by first name. And his passion project is a thing called the Sony Foundation. This is where a lot of serious effort and some pretty big money has gone into making sure that young people who are dealing with cancer are able to do it in the most comfortable way possible. And an example of that is a beautiful girl who lives not too far from here, and her name is Rachael. She's a lady who has cancer, but she has the brightest smile, the biggest heart, and she is exactly the type of person that Dennis and the Sony Foundation want to make as comfortable as possible. Have a look at her story.
Sitting down with Rachael Eather, you wouldn't know this smiling, bubbly 22-year-old is battling a rare cancer.
Rachael, g'day. Nice to meet you.
Hi, how are you?
Very good. Most importantly, how are you?
Good.
In March, she was unexpectedly diagnosed with rhabdomyosarcoma in her face, an aggressive form of soft tissue cancer.
It was really crazy. It was really quick. I went into the doctor for something totally different, and he was like, well, I said, oh, what's this while I'm here? And he's like, oh, we'll get an ultrasound, it's probably nothing. And then all of a sudden it was cancer.
We don't exactly know why, but we believe that these types of sarcomas, they actually develop in people where they're having periods of growth. So obviously children are growing, adolescents and young adults, they go through puberty and they grow. And something happens in Rachael's case, in a muscle cell, that turns it from, instead of growing normally as you would expect, turns into a cancerous growth.
Rachael underwent 12 straight weeks of aggressive chemotherapy and 5 weeks of radiation. She's now back to 1 dose of chemo every 3 weeks.
Does it knock you about?
Yes. And obviously I'm a lot weaker now.
Are you scared when you go through this?
A bit. I don't know. I suppose you got to do it. But yeah, I don't know, I hate it.
What do you hate the most about it?
Well, initially, losing my hair was the worst thing, but I don't know, obviously chemo is not good and side effects aren't good, but the hospital visits are the worst. Like when I get sick and get a fever, I have to go to hospital. I miss so much on the weekends.
She also faces the tyranny of distance. Rachael lives in Singleton in New South Wales Upper Hunter, meaning she must travel hundreds of kilometres just to access her treatment at the Chris O'Brien Lifehouse Hospital in Sydney.
It's about a 2.5 to 3 hour trip from home, depending on the traffic.
Like many living in regional Australia, it's not just time spent away from home, it's also very costly. Thankfully, there are organisations like the Sony Foundation that are giving a helping hand.
We know it's one of the biggest burdens is coming for treatment regularly and not having access to accommodation.
The Sony Foundation's YouCan Centres helping youth cancer patients currently operate in Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane and Perth. The latest is being built at Chris O'Brien Lifehouse and will be open this time next year.
So Sophie, even with nothing built here, the view is freaking amazing.
I know. When they first brought us here and said this space is vacant and we could fund something here, we couldn't believe our luck. It's incredible.
The new centre will also be the first free accommodation site for regional families. It's expected to help up to 500 patients annually.
Oh, I think this is going to be a massive revolution for people living far away from here.
The Sony Foundation sure knows how to get Aussies to dig deep. Its signature event raised a record-breaking $1.52 million in just 4 hours, covering the cost of the new centre.
We need to be able to deliver on saying we know what's going to help your treatment journey, and we know it's YouCan Centres, we know it's youth cancer services that then come along with that, and we'll get them funded.
For Rachael, any help is gratefully received as she stares down her own battle.
When you kick this thing, and you're going to, what do you want to do?
I don't know, I thought about doing a uni course, but yeah, I just can't wait to get back to work and move back out.
We love Mum and Dad, but not that much.
Yeah, they're okay, it's the siblings.
Spoken like a true 22-year-old who says, I'm done, I'm out of here, I love this. Rachael, kick this thing's ass, okay?
I promise.
Deal. And whether you're a social worker, a singer, a V8 driver, whatever the hell, I look forward to celebrating you down the track.
Thank you.
Good on you, Rach.